All right, back in the cockpit. Everybody good to regroup and get back on the mission? Is everybody present? Okay. So I just realized, guys, that I've got a lot of content planned for this session, and I'm not going to be able to do it justice to get it in today. What I'd like to do is spend the next Pomodoro on high leverage, and then we'll open up for some Q&A and for some coaching and get finished at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. And we'll do another productivity. We'll finish productivity next week because I've also got to cover using Asana and tracking your progress. But I will share with you the spreadsheet, the Google sheet that I use, and so you can play around with that and just become familiar with that. And then we will we'll be teaching that next week. Okay. So let's get into where was it? Let's get into high leverage. So let's talk about making high leverage a habit. And like a lot of this stuff, I can't take credit for inventing this. This is really something that I learned from Eben Pagan, one of my mentors. And making high leverage a habit. There's something called the productivity pyramid. And it looks like this. There are 4 levels of the productivity pyramid. You've got high lifetime value. You've got high dollar per hour. And then you've got low dollar per hour. And this comes directly from Wake Up Productive. And I did, in the file section, include a PDF of somebody's notes of the entire course. And this is really one of the most powerful parts of that course. So high lifetime value, high dollar per hour, and low dollar per hour, and then 0 or negative value. So my high lifetime value activities are this. Let's just get focused on this. Personal development, which is really my highest lifetime value activity, which is working on mindset, productivity, and leadership. Skill development, marketing training, learning about traffic, learning about funnels. Number 3, creating content. For example, the videos, webinars such as this that I create are some of my highest lifetime value activities. They are very high dollar per hour, but understand that content like this is not just high dollar per hour. It's not just earning me money from the revenue that I got from this course. This is an evergreen course. So this particular webinar can be watched a year from now, 2 years from now, and have immense high lifetime value. What else? Developing marketing campaigns. You know, some of the stuff that I'm implementing in my business right now is stuff that I've done years ago, even 10 years ago, and it's still working today, like search marketing, for example, and building funnels. So we've got to identify what are the highest value activities I have in my lifetime. For those of you who have children, much like I do as well, spending time, and I mean focused time, educating your children properly to be better individuals, to become leaders, can be one of the highest lifetime value activities that you'll ever have. Working on your mindset, working on your skill sets. So there we have the 5 high lifetime value activities that I have personally. Then I have high dollar per hour. So what comes next? Phone conversations with leaders and team members. Some of those phone conversations can be high lifetime value, but definitely in the context of bringing money into my business now, that's definitely one of them. Optimizing marketing campaigns and emailing my lists. Hold on, and then I've got low dollar per hour, which is emails, you know, to a degree they have to be done. Facebook communication, much like emails, building relationships, and in the context of advancing your business. And then at the bottom, there's zero or negative value, which is everything else on Facebook, which is why I, for the most part, try to stay off Facebook as much as I possibly can. Most emails and thinking about other people's bullshit, thinking about other people's agendas. Now, when you're reading this, I know a lot of you will probably be going, shit, I spend too much time on Facebook, emails, and trying to solve everybody else's problems and everybody else's drama. Who's spending a lot of time, or now that they look at this, who's spending too much time on zero negative value, low dollar per hour? Put your hand up, be honest. Who finds themselves a lot of the time too much focused on the low dollar per hour? Yeah, right on, Ace. I know that you do. Trying to fix everybody else's problems a lot of the time. So how do we identify this? Well, how do we identify the difference between high dollar per hour and high lifetime value? Hopefully from this, you guys can see that you should be spending the majority of your time on high lifetime value and high dollar per hour. So it could be creating content for your videos. That's high lifetime value because one of those videos can be out there forever. Branding you as an authority, as a leader, as a marketer. You know, one video can make you thousands, sometimes even millions of dollars. I have several pieces of content in my business that have literally made me 7 figures. Russell Brunson has a very famous saying, well, he made it famous, and he said that you're one funnel away from your next million. You're one funnel away from your next million. So funnels, when they're done right, can make 6 or 7 figures and therefore can be high lifetime value. So you've really got to think about when you start your week, you've got to look at your diary. This is what I did with Ace last week. I said, right, what's gonna Ace and Rich actually, what's gonna give you the highest leverage in your business? And that's the thing that, number one, you need to start with first thing in the morning. And by the way, it's not going to be video for everybody. It is critically important to be very self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. I don't want everybody thinking I need to get great at video, because if you are not, you know, if you're not naturally a great communicator, somebody with high energy who's kind of good at presenting and communicating, if you're not a social butterfly, and if you're a little bit maybe socially awkward and your communication isn't great, it's definitely something you need to improve upon and work on. But maybe your thing is going to be, you know, writing ads for search marketing. Maybe your thing should be Instagram. I definitely recommend, if you're not naturally a great communicator, don't force yourself to be great on video if it's just never going to be one of your strengths. I know there are some of you who literally you should just focus on like Instagram. And if you were to focus on using your creative skills to write amazing Instagram posts with good captions and improving your copywriting skills and getting good at that thing as opposed to communicating on a video, that would then become your high lifetime value activity. Does that make sense, guys? So, you know, maybe 50 to 70% of you are either okay or good at marketing. Who else springs to mind? People like Mark Castillo, who's doing quite a bit of videos. Like, you definitely should focus on taking your videos from good to great to then excellent and becoming an expert in that area. But for some of you, I won't mention any names, you should just take video as one of those things that you do a few of, because video marketing is really something that I think to even a small degree, everybody should put themselves out there. But maybe your big thing, like I say, is going to be creative content, whether it's blogging or something like Instagram. So we've got to identify our highest lifetime value and our highest dollar per hour and make sure we spend the majority of our time doing those things, and then the remainder at the second half of the day on things like, you know, emailing people and getting back to people on Facebook and stuff like that. Now, the magic zone. The magic zone is, imagine you've got two circles. The circle on the left is your strength. What is your strength? Your strength is a talent that you're naturally gifted at, that's been trained, educated, and developed by mentors. So we all should have an inkling of what our talents are. And then through repetition and consistency, a talent that has then been developed into an ability to create results that makes you feel good about it, that then becomes your strength. And then when you understand that, let's say, for example, your talent, for example, is communicating. So if you're talented at communicating and then you work on that consistently so it becomes a strength, you then take that strength of communication and understand, right, where's the highest leverage that I can use this strength? Well, if it's going to be creating videos, then which platform would be the best to give me the most leverage? And of course, it's YouTube. So you then combine the two, and the area in the middle is the magic zone, the zone where you want to spend as much time as possible. So again, you heard me coaching Ace and Rich last week, and, you know, helping those guys identify that really their strength, and both Ace and Rich are good in their own individual ways of doing videos. Their strength should be video. So they've actually harnessed this quite well in the last probably month to be doing a lot of lives on YouTube. They've switched away from Facebook and gone over to YouTube. They're doing a lot of video content on YouTube and Facebook lives. And Ace and Rich, just using you guys as an example here, like, if you do that every single day, not just for the next month, not just for the next year, but can you imagine if you did like 2 great videos a day for the next 5 years? Well, you would be in the top 1% of experts in this industry at video marketing. And doing just that one thing, as opposed to, you know, veering off into too many different marketing and traffic methods, would give you far more traction and leverage and ultimately money and success than if you got sidetracked and focused on different things. So when I went through this exercise, like, my magic zone, my biggest strengths and my highest leverage activities, obviously communication. So my highest lifetime in my marketing is YouTube videos, both free and paid campaigns, Instagram posts. I take 1 day a week and I focus for about 5 or 6 hours of that day to do, because I'm a very artistic, creative person as well. And I mainly do it so I can actually teach it as well as I enjoy it. So my magic zone is YouTube videos, Instagram posts. At some point, I may decide that video just overpowers the ROI and the leverage that I get from Instagram, so I'll stop doing it altogether. Emailing my list is very, very high leverage for me, because typically I get so much great response and so many trials from emailing my list. So I do that 1 day a week as well. And then webinars falls into that category as well. My other magic zone is leadership. So leadership, delegating content creation and distribution. So in a few months, I am going to hire 1, maybe 2 people to take my video content and write blog posts. I'm a far better, I'm definitely a far more powerful communicator on video than I am actually writing. So it makes a lot of sense to me to just not try and dilute my focus right now, and create a video and then create a blog post as well. I'd rather just create lots and lots of videos, and then hire somebody to create articles and blog posts from my videos and just transcribe them, do the SEO thing, and of course leading and delegating that part of my business is part of my magic zone as well, because I've learned and spent a lot of time learning how to become a good leader. So leadership is part of my magic zone as well. Like, this is actually leadership. This is, the magic zone for me has a lot of overlap, in so much that I kind of see you guys as you are my customers, my team, even though you are in Super Affiliate Network through, say, Ace and Rich, or maybe Karen or somebody, but you are my customers. So this is me providing value for my customers. And I know that if I do a great job with this, once the course is finished and you start getting some transformations and some amazing results in your business, then I can then go and create other courses. Like, maybe I'll do a full 8-week course just on productivity. And I do actually plan to do a full, maybe 6-week course or 6-module course on video marketing. And I know that by doing a great job and leading you here, you're far more likely to become a repeat customer when I launch those courses as well. So do the things in your magic zone first in the day. Do it consistently and you'll build a huge business. What are the things that if you focused on every day would make the biggest difference in your life? And 5 years from now, look back at the last 5 years of creation and say to yourself, wow, that's a magnificent thing that I have created, and it comes from spending those 5 years in the magic zone. So if we have, to put this in time context, if we have, say, 8 hours that we're going to be focused on work in our day, if you were to spend 6 hours in your magic zone, whether that's, video marketing or Instagram or whatever, and do that every, 5 or 6 days for the next 5 years, you would look back and you would go, my God, that's a magnificent empire that I've created. And it comes from spending the majority of my time in that magic zone. And on that note, guys, let me see, will I cover? We've got Asana, we've got the spreadsheets. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spend the next 5 minutes sharing with you some tools to use, and then we will do another productivity training next week, maybe just for an hour on these particular things. But in the group, I'm going to share with you this, and I'm just going to very quickly touch upon. There are 3 tabs on the Top Gun Business Master spreadsheet that you can use. The first one is the end of day review. It's actually not in Excel. It's on Google Sheets, so I can share it with you. I could share it in Excel, but I tend to use Google Sheets, which is pretty much the same thing. And so this is what I do at the end of, not every day, but most days. It's got the date, and then I look at the number of Pomodoros that I got done. And then the next question is, what did I get done in that day? As you'll see, last Saturday, my computer crashed. But then on Monday, did some Instagram posts. Tuesday, I wrote down at the end of the day 5 things that I got done for the day, and that's what I do. And then the next question is, what did I not get done? What did I not get done? And then there's a column for why. So for example, on Tuesday, I got distracted. I got a terrible day last Tuesday. Got distracted, got out of bed too late. There was no personal development done. There was no plan for the day. And consequently, I said, no, I would not hire me as the CEO for the next day. This is going to be available for all of you guys to copy and put into your own Google Sheet. You can use this template. Have I got tomorrow planned? So this really, for me, this depends on me planning the next day. Sometimes I do it the night before. Sometimes I do it in the morning. I do my best to have kind of a high level view of the day, i.e. everything is in my calendar. I know what I'm going to be focused on. And then typically what I'll do at the start of the day is I'll look back over that and I'll think, right, what else do I really need to get done today? Sometimes stuff comes up that is kind of time sensitive and I'm like, right, I need to focus. I need to put an hour in for this, the virtual summit that I'm teaching, I think on Wednesday, guys, by the way. I'm actually teaching my video sales letter strategy on Wednesday or Thursday. Is it, hang on, 23rd, 4th? Yeah, Wednesday it's going to be. But like, for example, I might be like, shit, okay, I've got to get that thing done. So in the morning, I might be like, right, I need to spend an hour or 2 planning that. And I asked myself 2 really important questions. What did I learn most about the day? And then what was great about today? So it always ends with a positive. What did I learn? Even if it was a shit day, I didn't put that down there, but even if it was a shit day, I think I didn't put that down because I already knew that I learned that I must get my personal development done. I must have a plan for the day, because if I don't have a plan done for the day, then my day generally goes to shit. So it's called the end of day review. And there's another tab for declarations. So at the start of every week, I have 1 priority, not 2, 1 priority. That's the one big thing that moves the needle forward the most in my business. So I'll give you guys an idea. This week, it's to scale and optimize my YouTube paid campaign to get it to 5 trials per day. Like, I'm not going to think about much else for the whole week until that's done. The word priority essentially means first. And when we think about that, 2 things can't be first. Only one thing can be first. So your champagne, what is a champagne moment? A champagne moment is, imagine if you got that one thing done. Let's say, I use Ace and Rich. Let's say Ace and Rich, like, your big thing for this week is to do 5 Facebook Lives and 5 sort of how-to videos on Facebook. And when you get that done, imagine you had a bottle of champagne, you would pop the cork and celebrate like it was a huge victory. So that's what I call a champagne moment. And again, this is something I learned from another productivity course that I did. So what is your one? And I've seen people try to do this, and the mistake they make is to try to add in too many things. There can only be one priority. There can be multiple tasks that you want to accomplish, but it's like, remember the focusing question, which is, I'll just read this again. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Jeff and Kathy, yes, that's 5 sand trials per day. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? You should all have that on your wall. And it comes from the One Thing book, which I recommended at the start of the course. And there's also a tracker in here, which allows you to track email broadcasts, clicks, leads, sales, bank balance, and all that stuff as well. And this is literally ripped directly from my own personal business master spreadsheet. So this will be available to use. Let me see, when I get done today, I'm cooking. It'll be available to use from tomorrow, as well as the recording of this and the notes from today's session as well. Let's have a quick 5-minute break, and then I'm going to open up for 30 minutes of Q&A and a little bit of coaching as well. So we'll see you guys back in 5.